Hey everyone, this is Valdis story. This game is like my favorite game ever, and it's an awesome Metroidvania. There are 4 characters you can choose from. We're picking Gilda, she's the fastest, and it's a good reason for it. She's a caster, and she starts with a double jump, and nobody else starts with a double jump, which is pretty huge. And she also can infinitely charge her mana, which is very, very useful since her main damage source is spells. To start off here, we're going to grab this life potion just for some safety, and we are going to try in this next room to get a decent combo on these mobs. The way the combo multiplier works in this game is you kill something, and whatever your multiplier is on the screen, it multiplies the experience by that much. So we got X2 for that guy. So we got 2 times experience for killing him. It's pretty direct in that aspect, but the way to actually build your combo multiplier is not very direct. It's based on number of hits, how stylish your combo is, if you backstab someone. There's a lot of different things that go into it. Right here we're going to pick up Axon, who's an assist. This is the first assist and only one we'll be using in the run. You're not really supposed to get her that early, but since Gilda starts with a double jump, she can. And now we pick up this armor called Murderous Raiment, which is really good. Every time you hit something, or every time you crit something, your next spell will deal 50% more damage if you have that armor on, which is crazy. You can see that red thing above our head, that means we have the buff on us right now. And we're going to try and build up a small combo before we kill that guy with our assist. And basically we're trying to hit level 3 before the first boss if we can, but if we don't, it's fine. Mainly we're trying to build our focus bar in the top left. We want to get that to around half before we get to the boss. And we just build it up by hitting stuff. Here we pick up our first skill cancel, and skill cancel is an invincible dash that you can use during basically any move to cancel it, and then you can cancel out of it with any move. So it's really flexible and very fun to play with, and it's like the bread and butter of the run. If you're hitting something, it won't cool down, so you can't infinitely combo with it. Here we're going to try a really specific strat on the boss, where we're going to try and hit him out of the air while he phase switches, which will mess with his AI and let us full combo him. It looks really cool if we do it right. Alright, we did it right. It didn't actually look that cool, but it's really good. We're going to let our combo drop, and then break his guard with our focus attack, and then focus finisher, and then kill him with our assist. That was basically a perfect fight. And usually what the boss wants to do, once he loses 25% of his life, he jumps to the middle platform and summons a bunch of adds that get in your way. So it's really good if you don't let him jump up there. And he tries to do that every 25%. So if you can keep him locked down in the corner, you'll save like more than 10 seconds easily. So here we're actually going to assign our skill points. We're going to get 5 agility here. And we're only going to get 5, but what that does is the way stats work in Valdis story. For each 5 you get a specific bonus based on your current light or dark affinity. So we're dark right now because we have dark magic on. If we had light magic on, then we wouldn't have this cool red glow, afterglow behind us. But that signifies we're dark, and that gives us 5% move speed because we have 5 agility. If we were light, it would give us 5% crit damage instead. So you have a lot of options with your builds, depending on what you want to do. But we want the move speed early, and then we're going to dump basically the rest of our points into int, because int makes us deal damage. And Gilda also gets a talent that gives her stats based on how high her int is. So you really just want to stack as much int with her as you can. We're going to head into the Mausoleum now, and this is the biggest RNG point of the run. We need to get 2 angel spirits off these guys before we leave. Otherwise, we can't upgrade our magic later on like we need to. So we get the spell lantern from that chest, and then we're just going to kill angels in here until we get to the next boss. So if we don't have 2 angel spirits by the time we get to this room, then we have to kill this. This guy is really quick to kill, so we just farm him until we get one. Or if we're feeling really feisty, we can clear this room, and it'll save us more time in the end if we actually get our drop. And we did. So there's our 2 angel spirits. Kill this guy, and now we have Tagu coming up, who's a big mech boss. But Gilda, being the wonderful character she is, doesn't even have to fight him. Because she can do something called... Well, I guess there's not really a name for this tech. But you climb in the air with your burst and your air magic, and then you jump over the boss's trigger at the very top. And you don't even fight him. You just grab the mana key and you leave. Mana key stone means we can open doors like this, which we will have to do a few different times. And now we are going into the ice zone, and we need to pick up the grand agate in this area, in that chest. Now we have everything we need to upgrade our magic later on. And we don't really want to kill anything here. If you kill anything, it's just going to slow you down, because your skill cancel will not be cooling down for about 2 seconds after you hit something. And an actual boss that we fight coming up, Ruckjaw, who's this big ice thing. I don't really know what he is. It looks like a dragon almost, but he's like part of the mountain here. It's pretty funky. And for this fight you need to kill the bottom crystal, this top crystal, and then his face twice. And there we go. And then we just jump right up top. And that was a decent boss fight. Now that we've killed him, he gives us ice magic, which is not too big of a surprise, but it's really helpful, and is how we kill, or is how we do a lot of the cool stuff in the run. Now that we've gotten through him, we're actually at the next town, which was the story quest, is to get to the town, and we picked up some spare parts from the last town, and we're going to bring them to the Elder here to repair the tram between the towns. And while we're here, we are going to learn from, not from the Elder. The Elder's like, just go take the parts to the engineer, alright? And the engineer tells us that a wounded man was found at the doctor. He was found defending some villagers. And we're going to go visit him. We talk to the doctor, and we see our friend Vladin lying there. He's all hurt. So we need to go pick up the Lordest here, which is an herb hidden in the poison gardens, where there's a bunch of demons, naturally. guarding it, essentially. Or they just happen to be there. I don't even know if they're guarding it. But we need to get it for him to fix him up. And since he's a good guy, we'll do that. Going into this next room, we have a specific strat so we can kill these two guys before they burrow. And we nailed it. We get them with 2 different backstab spells and turn them around with our assist while we're hitting them, so that our next spells will also backstab. And backstabbing is a 50% damage multiplier. And we'll assign our talent points and stuff as quickly and efficiently as we can. We try not to menu very often if we can help it. And we're going to run through the gardens, get the skeleton key to open doors like that. That's a skeleton door, which we cannot open yet. And until the next boss, it's just some nice platforming and grabbing the key. So this room, we're going to try and get as big of a multiplier as we can on the witches. And because they have a green thing on them, that signifies they're worth more experience, and you have to kill them to advance into the next room, essentially. And we got a huge combo on them, so that means we got an X10 multiplier when we killed it. So it was worth killing 10 of them. But here's Shugoth. And Shugoth here is a painful boss that likes to teleport around a lot. So we're not going to let him do that. We're going to hit him 11 times, and then go into our weapon submenu for about a second, and our combo is going to drop. And what this does for us, this is actually an intended mechanic to have the combo drop when you enter your submenu, so you can't switch weapons mid-combo and abuse that for additional tags on your combo to like raise the multiplier. But a lot of enemies are designed to act on a certain hit counter, like in the combo. So if I ever got to 12 hits, the boss would immediately teleport. But since I enter the menu while he's still in hit stun from my attack, like I'll hit him, go to the menu immediately, drop the combo, I can just keep comboing him forever, and he never teleports. And there he's done. Now we can get the Lord S tier, and we're gonna head back to town. We're not going to assign any skill points. We have extra points, but in this next part, we actually do not want... We want to deal as little damage as we can coming up. Because the run is about to get very broken open once we get to the library. So all these enemies everywhere, these are ferals, and there are essentially like 3 factions at war here. There are humans, well I guess 4 factions. There are humans, ferals, angels, and demons, and they're all fighting for themselves pretty much. Angels are not nice, and they basically want to kill humans and use their souls to like feed their armies. Demons, pretty much same thing going on. They all have their own agenda. Ferals aren't actually aggressive towards humans necessarily. They're kind of like wild beasts, and they'll fight anyone that goes near them. We learn more about their origin later on, but humans are essentially just trying to survive. And we were part of a ship that crash landed in the Abyssal City, and now we're just looking for our crewmates. Is like our main goal at the start of it, and then we learn later that we're actually kind of saving the world as we do that. But we just got the key from the elder in the town, and we are going to the library. Well, we got the library key, and the library has a whole bunch of nice, sweet info that Vladden will tell us about because he is our group's nerd, and he's read a whole bunch of books, I assume. Right after this, the run really heats up. It starts to get a little wild. We are going to go up, and once we rescue crew members now, they come to this library. And when you initially rescue them, you don't really get anything from them. But when you visit them again in the library, they will give you something sweet, usually. Whether it's a new focus finisher, it lets you upgrade your magic, upgrade your weapon, buy a whole new weapon, an accessory. There's a lot of sweet things you can do. We collected items earlier on so we could upgrade our ice magic. And now that we can upgrade it, it lets us do a sweet skip coming up here to get by this divine door. We can do it, right? But now we summoned 2 ice towers when we use ice magic. And now it lets us walk out of bounds, pretty much. Just go right over this door, which we need a key that is very late game oriented. Like, we wouldn't have it for a very long time. We just skip right by it. And now we are going to try and build up as big of a combo as we can and kill this guy right here over and over again with a Feral Puffer. We just leveled up, I think, twice from that. But as Gilda, for each double jump you can fit into a combo, it will increase the multiplier by 1. That's the easiest way to build the multiplier when you're killing something. We're already level 10. You also get bonuses for skill canceling through an enemy attack, for killing something during a combo, for each 5 hits in a combo, for backstabbing, for using your assist. And you really just don't want to get hit. As soon as you get hit, your combo drops. That's like the worst thing you can do, really. And I should have trained this earlier, but we use a couple talent points, and now I get an additional midair jump. So like a triple jump, not just a double jump. But each of those will add 1 to my combo as well. So that's kind of what we're just doing. We're just kind of like jumping and hitting these crabs and then killing the big guy. And we're going to do this till we hit level 15. As soon as we do, we're going to get a really important talent point, which gives us 20% of our int. It distributes it to all other stats, which is great. And then we also become immune to poison, which isn't that relevant usually, but against this next boss, it helps a lot. A whole lot. And we're 15. Awesome. So now that we're 15, we just go through this room normally, and we're gonna assign all our points. Well, not all of them. We're gonna assign almost all of them. But now we need a ton of int. We'll do a lot more damage at this point. And here's Raven. Raven is really dangerous and can kill you in a couple hits normally because of the poison it does. But since we're immune, it's a lot easier now. And since we upgraded our ice magic, we can just spam the crap out of it in the air. The way like the mechanics work in this game is you do an air spell, you can jump cancel your air spell at any point during it. and then you can cancel your jump animation with a spell. So if you're fast, you can cancel them very quickly, one after the other. There's a lot of freedom with the movement and combat mechanics in the game like that, where it feels very freeform. Okay, so now coming up, this is the biggest skip in the game. This is called Prison Skip. And we need this guy not to do that attack. We need him to do a jump attack. And then we're going to lure him over to the left and do some shenanigans to skip into the ceiling. So this is what we needed. We burst, and then we switch to ice magic and burst again. So every time we switch, it bursts us to dark, and dark does the least damage to this enemy. We don't want to deal him damage. So now we set up in a specific way to get him up here. Burst, and then ride the enemy that's frozen up into the ceiling and jump into the ceiling. Credits to Casper, the first person to find that trick. It was so freaking crazy the way he used to have to do it, which relied on an enemy walking towards you and you getting like a 40% icicle RNG proc to knock you into the ceiling, which is just insane. Found a more consistent setup for it now, and this category is really fun to run now because of it. Here we gotta kill this boss again. He might look familiar. He's back for more, because we're at like the end of the game now, having skipped through quite a bit doing what we did. Ouch. And now we heal when we deal dark magic damage. Always quite nice. And then we gotta wait on this screen for our skill cancel to come up. Otherwise, what ends up happening, because we have allied NPCs fighting off screen, whenever they attack an enemy, it counts as us attacking an enemy. So we don't get our skill cancel back. It is really frustrating and not what you'd want. Here is Anemone. Anemone is a real pain in the tush of a boss, where you get her about 20% down and then she goes invulnerable, summons a bunch of ads, and then you have to chase her around the screen, kinda like comboing her and then killing every ad after she dies. So we're gonna switch. We switch to dark magic here, and then put on poison magic. So now, because we were dark when we retried, our skeleton is now dark, which is what we want. The skeleton puts a debuff on the boss. You can see the little symbol above her head, called Corruption, that makes it so the boss can't heal. And the boss always has something going on that's permanently healing it over time, from these crystals in the room that you want to kill on the side, right there, that orange crystal. We don't kill it in the first phase because it's not worth doing. Here we resummon our skeleton to prevent the healing again. And we try to combo the boss in such a way that we end our combo as the skeleton is hitting it. If you do it like that, then you can actually keep the boss stun locked. Here we switch to dark magic so we can heal up between the phases, because we heal a lot of life when we hit with dark magic. And now we're actually going to kill the crystals, because we have to go up here anyway to kill this enemy. We also turn on that heater right there. We're slowly losing life in this fight because it's too cold everywhere. So having that heater on just gets rid of that. You can see the timer on the right corner. Skeleton coming in clutch, hitting her out of the air. So as long as we have the skeleton It's really nice. She doesn't heal. Well, we killed the crystals, but we put on poison magic to kill the actual boss because poison does percentage damage and ticks over time for a lot. Like a lot more than anything else we could do. These fire mobs are weak to ice, so we put on ice magic. And kill all these enemies, and now she should be vulnerable again. Alright, one more phase to go of ads. So we have a talent that sacrifices our skeleton to heal us when we get on a low life, which is kind of good and kind of bad sometimes, because we want our skeleton out to stop her from healing. So having it die when I'm low life is usually not ideal. Like that. Because I was low life and got hit, my skeleton immediately died, even though I was trying to summon it. So I gotta be careful on that. This is definitely the hardest boss in the game and takes way longer than any other boss in this category. And this is not the final boss in the game either. Alright, boss down. Sweet deal. 3 minutes is a good fight. So, now that that's down, we go to the final cutscene, or it's not the final cutscene, but this is Valdis, who the game is named after, but we find out that she's pretty much God, and Reyna, this blonde girl here, is her daughter, and that I have to protect the Golden Child, or the world will end. And Valdis is dying. She got messed up by Mergato and Alagath, who are the leader of the demons and the angels. And Gilda's like, well, she's dying anyway, I'm just gonna absorb her soul. And Reyna gets pretty butthurt about it, but Gilda does not care. Ooh. And now we have to escape this falling area. Not too tough for Gilda. Once I get to the top, some business happens. These are the 4 characters in the game that are playable. They all have their own sweet playstyles and stuff, but they come together at the end to help take down True Anemone, the final boss, who we are about to do battle with. Multiple phases to this boss. You have to break her shield multiple times, and the tentacles and stuff, and then kill the ad she spawns. And it's usually like a 4 or 5 minute fight. I mean, usually. But I don't think we have anything like that planned for this run. And that's Valdis' story 80%. We just skip right out of the last boss, and we're done. That's the first sub 29 ever, which is pretty cool. I really like this run, this game in general. It's pretty sweet. Thanks for watching.